All right, I believe we are live. Hey, what is up, YouTube Boxing family? It is KRAS7435 here. I am back again with another good live stream for y'all today on this lovely night that will soon become morning. But then again, I still call it nighttime. Yeah, let's talk about it. Mr. Devin, the Dreams and Nightmare Haney, had said it is now duck season. And I have to talk about this because obviously, I support Devin Haney, and Devin pretty much knows, how it is. Hey, what's up, Demas? Salute to you. Thank you for coming through. Salute to you. Yeah, honestly, like Devin Haney had made a really good point, saying that everybody will say anything, but let's fight. And I'm just paraphrasing that because it's like Devin was right about it. He was right about it from day one. He knew what was going on ever since he got into the division that he campaigned at. And here we are, 2 years later. Because prior to now, it's like ever since Devin had campaigned at 135, it's just been a whole mess of fighters that just don't want the smoke with him. And before I even get to, I guess, like one of the more premier fighters that a lot of people will have a little bit of, back and forth hate. And actually, if y'all want to come through and chop it up with me, here's the link if y'all want to come. But only family only, no trolls allowed. But yeah, let's talk about it because I feel like this is a really good issue to touch base on, and I think it's important that we talk about it as true boxing fans. But as far as Devin's career of where he's at in the lightweight division, there's a lot of controversy of where he should be going. And the thing is like right now, Devin can either go two routes. Either one, he could try to make matters better to try to negotiate with George Cambosos, or he can basically just move up to 140 and become a mandatory or fight for a mandatory position for the WBC belt. And see now, there's so many options that he can go, but I feel like, knowing that I ride heavy for Devin, it's like I want him to have the best career out there. I don't want to see Devin basically get screwed over where he can't go for all the big fights and he's basically trapped inside the corner because that's what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen for Devin is that he's going to get trapped into a corner and he's not going to be given the opportunities that we want him to be in. And then it's going to be a catch 22 principle, whether if Devin actually gets, the big fights or not. See, now what could happen is that I think what Devin's going to try to do is that I think he's going to try to possibly petition to the WBC where he can be, a mandatory right away for the champion for 140. And I think honestly, I think Josh Taylor he's gonna vacate, and then Devin he's gonna go straight to 140 when that's available because I believe the person that's the number one at the WBC is Jose Zapata, and Jose Zapata I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm pretty sure if anything, Devin will probably just move up to 140 and fight him. See, now let's talk about everybody else in the division because even though 140 has a lot of sharks, that still doesn't give Devin, the proper breathing room that he needs to get into 140. And I think what's going to happen is that Devin's going to get screwed over, and it's not going to be be the type of fight that people want to expect him to be in. But I think what's going to happen is that Devin's going to move up to 140, and he's either going to face Jose Zapata, or he'll face Montana Love, or he could face maybe he could possibly face maybe Mario Barrios, Well, actually, no. Mario Barros is at 147. I'm sorry, but he could possibly face Richardson Hitchens. Either him or maybe I don't know. There's just too many names out here that are like really dangerous opportunities, but I don't know what the possible best route that Devin can go, but there's a lot of names here that we could see that there's just a lot of dangerous sharks that are willing to just take Devin's head off. And I think what's probably going to happen is that Devin's going to move up. He's going to face Jose Zepeda. And actually, let me pull up the WBC rankings, um, and I will tell you guys who is at the top, because I know damn well that Zepeda, he's number one if I'm not mistaken. But here we are. I'm here on Boxing Scene. Boxing Scene has the listings for the WBC, and I will tell you guys right now. So right now, number one is Jose Zepeda, and then number two is Jose Ramirez, and then Regis Prograis at number three. Sandor Martin, Teofimo Lopez. What the hell? You got Teofimo Lopez at number 5? What? And then after that, this gets really crazy. We got Subriel Matias and then Arnold Barbosa at number 7. And then at number 8, Victor Postal. Number 9, Jack Catterall. That's going to fight Josh Taylor. Coming up very soon, actually. Man, I can't wait for that. Jose Pedraza, Omar Aguilar, Jeremias Ponce, Alberto Puello, Bakhtir Akhmedov, and Yves Yelesi Jr. That's for the WBC. See, now, for the other sanction bodies, I'll get to that, but I find that so crazy that Devin is basically in this position where he could basically fight anybody at the top, but the problem is like, where can he go? Because it's like, if he wants to go the WBC route, he's gonna have to be knocking on Zepeda's door, and I don't know. He could very well fight him, or if he wants to go the WBA route, he could fight Alberto Puello, who's actually number 1, which he's a really dangerous contender. So I don't know, man. I think honestly, just how everything's structured right now, like I think Devin's in a really I don't know, he's in like a really risky situation, because if he does come around and actually do beat some of these guys, because I don't think he beats everybody at 140. That's definitely a really big problem that I have right now, because as much as I do respect Devin, I think what's going to happen is that Devin's going to be in this really problematic situation where he probably thinks everything's going to go well, but I think there's going to be some shady business behind closed doors that's going to hold him back. And I don't know what else that I could really think of. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, he does have a lot of dangerous, smoke, in these divisions. But I think the more tougher fights will probably be a Jose Zepeda, Jose Ramirez, and then I'd say Subriel Matias. I don't think Devin's gonna want to run into Subriel, in which I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to if he wants to become undisputed. But after that, I mean, Alberto Puello, he's a really dangerous cookie. That's gonna be a tough fight. I mean, there's just a crap load of smoke in these divisions, so it's like there's really nothing that I can think of that's going to make it any better. But I mean, he has a lot of great opportunities that he can go for, but I just don't know what's the right path for him. And I think it's gonna probably come a certain time where he's gonna have to look at the table of what's being offered, and he can get the right opportunities given. So I think Devin will be able to solidify himself. It's just pretty much like a matter of time of like what's really how should I say of what's really offered. So I don't know. I think honestly, it's gonna be very very interesting. I think Devin has a lot of great opportunities in front of him, but at the end of the day, it's just like what can we really see in the near future. But I think honestly, it's gonna be a very interesting path for him. I think Devin, he's probably going to start seeking, the bigger names very soon. But yeah, I mean, 140, is probably the best route because at 135, man, we got to touch base on this, but let's just start from the very fucking beginning. Devin should have been defeated Lomachenko a long time ago. And I think what's going to happen is just that Devin, he's going to be put, in a really tough position where if the same shit happened to him at 135 happens at 140, that's going to be the worst form of corruption that you could do on Devin. Because it's like all the other fights that everyone else can have is completely fine. But for some weird reason, you mean to tell me Devin can't get a fight at 140? But I think Devin's definitely on his way. It's not like he's going to be treated, any different. It's just that I think the barriers to entry is going to be without a title that Devin can't get, and I think Devin he's going to be able to do what he has to do. But at the end of the day, he just needs to start making the moves now, and I think he'll be good. He'll definitely. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Devin definitely has a lot of open doors at 140, but the barriers to entry in that division will be a lot less harder, but it will be a little bit more difficult when he's trying to cross, promote, with those particular fighters. But I don't think it should be that big of a problem. I think he should be able to, get the business side of things done, and he should be able to get the fights. I don't see why he can't. I think honestly, at the end of the day, it's just more like what can he really do? Because I mean, the thing is that if you're in Devin's position, what is the best route for you to go to make your name bigger? And I think the best way to do it is to make sure that you have a proper ceiling where you do the things that you're able to do to come into that situation. Hey, salute to you, Jeffrey Lopez. Thank you for coming by. Um, yeah, uh, even Jeffrey Lopez says 140. But yeah, I mean, honestly, man, at the end of the day, it's just like you got to think about it. Devin is like what 23 years old. He doesn't really have that much time left to actually keep his weight properly, as he's still growing. And I think what's going to just happen is just that Devin, he's not going to be put in a proper position, and that's going to hold him back where he's not able to get the fights that he wants because, if his body is still growing, then who knows? Devin could easily balloon up to like 147 within a couple of years. So I think honestly the time is now, and he should be given those opportunities to start fighting. Because if you're Devin Haney, you're not trying to wait a couple extra years just to get undisputed. If your body can't handle it, then your body can't handle it at that particular weight class. So I don't know. I think honestly, I think Devin is going to be in a little tough, position, but it shouldn't be that hard. Once he's able to get more leverage at 140. And I think but the thing is just that at 135, we already knew what was going to happen. He was going to be avoided, by Lomachenko, and then it got transferred over by Teofimo Lopez, where he beat the man that beat everybody, right? And then after that, it just went to like a crazy, like basically clusterfuck where Teofimo don't want to fight Devin, and then Devin's trying to push for undisputed, and then Teofimo makes up all these weird ass excuses, and it just turns into an absolute circus jerk where nobody's coming to proper fruition, and Devin's just trying to fight like all the best opposition available, and then once Teofimo loses to George, Cambosos, it's like Cambosos basically pulls off a Teofimo Lopez 2.0 because, at one point I was a believer to think that George Cambosos was going to, actually honor, a fight with Devin Haney for undisputed, but no, that doesn't happen. So at this point, it's like honestly, I think Devin Haney should just say, "Fuck 135. I'm going up to 140." And if that can be a bigger difference up there, at least that way he could have like a better scaling in that weight class. And I think honestly, like for what people try to say that Devin doesn't have power, I think Devin's power is actually going to become a lot stronger at 140 because if you really think about it, Devin's not built like a true 135 pounder. Because if he was a true 135 pounder, he actually would scale a lot higher in higher weight classes. So I think the thing is that Devin knows what's going to happen when he goes up in weight. I think his body mass is actually going to be a lot more sharper, and he's going to have a lot more tone in his frame. And Devin's going to start, performing at a higher level where we could see the evolution of his power quickly increase, and that could actually help him scale a lot better. Does that guarantee him getting knockouts and actually beating people up a lot better? No, I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't think Devin's like a one shot knockout artist. That's definitely not there. But I will say, as the competition increases, Devin's gonna basically, gonna have to basically resort to masterclass boxing, and then that way he's able to actually perform at a higher level. So I don't know. I think honestly, I think Devin's in a good spot as far as his physicality build goes. I think Devin will do a very good job at 140, but anywhere above 140, I think that's where Devin's you know like I guess his probability of winning fights up there could be a little bit tricky because once he gets up to like 147, 154, because Devin says he's gonna probably cap at like one like at 154. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna start to see the difference in punches, and I guess at the weight gain a lot easier or a lot sooner once he starts getting in there with guys that are just as big as him or if not bigger. So I think Devin's going to start to see that as that progresses, and that's going to be very very interesting. So I don't know how that's going to actually, possibly scale, but I like to see how that, works out. Um, but as far as the ducking situation that he's been, you know, basically screwed over with, um, Devin's basically been put in such a really bad position with all the names that you could think of. Even with guys like Gervonta Tank Davis, Tank Davis obviously made so many excuses to not fight Devin. And, I don't think it's just Gervonta. I think it's Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather knows Devin Haney a lot, as a fighter. So it's like, as Floyd Mayweather, actually knows what Devin Haney is capable to doing to Tank. I think he understands that the level of magnitude behind that fight is going to trigger a lot of Tank Davis, detractors. And I think Floyd is afraid of seeing Tank lose, where they're trying to protect his O, and they're trying so hard to prevent, Gervonta Gervonta Davis to skyrocket his pay-per-view superstardom career higher than Floyd Mayweather's previous, pay-per-view, number, I guess, popularity growth. So I think that's what's basically happening in that situation. It's just not let the fact that Devin Haney is like a high risk, low reward type of fighter. It's just like the fact that, the business side of losing to a Devin Haney would mean that a lot of people would think Gervonta Davis, is a hype job. He's not this, he's not that. Devin just exposed them. You let some pillow-fisted non-puncher actually beat you. Blah blah blah. Like basically, that's how Floyd Mayweather is looking at the situation. Otherwise, they probably would have been had that fight. Now by having Gervonta and Devin probably unify or actually, fight each other at 135 for Tank's, WBA regular belt and then Devin's, WBC belt. And at least that way, Gervonta, he could have some more, I guess like, he can have more leverage to the division. So I don't know. Honestly, it's very interesting to see how that would happen. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Please go subscribe to Mr. Bruin Steel. Thank you for coming by, Jeff. Appreciate you. But yeah, honestly, man, it's very interesting to see how that's going to scale. Because, if Devin does manage to get a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, it's probably going to be at 140. I don't see how Tank and Devin could actually see each other. I think that's going to be the type of fight where it needs to happen sooner than later because, I don't want to see Gervonta fight each other, or I don't want to see Tank and Devin fight each other at like 147 and Gervonta's like in his 30s and Devin's like, at the peak of his prime at like what, 27, 28. So I don't know, man. I think honestly, that's just not good. That's not good business, and that's poor promotion. Yeah, like I'm doing good, Jeff. I appreciate you. Yeah, everything's fine, man. Nothing special. Just been working a lot lately. Just been focusing on my goals. So, how's everything with you? But yeah, things are fine, man. I really can't, complain. But as far as Devin's progression goes, I think what's going to happen is that he's going to definitely get belts at 140, and then he's going to try pushing for undisputed, and I think he will be successful, but it's not going to be easy. And then after that, he's going to do the same thing at 147, and I think he's going to probably end up facing, I don't know, maybe Jaron Ennis. I'd like to see him and Boots fight each other. Um, yeah, that would be a good fight. What did Jeff say? Good. Watch my Celtics 9-game win streak. Man, your Celtics are trash, bro. Your Celtics suck. My Bulls, bro. My Bulls are at number 2. Where are yours? Yeah, where are your Boston Celtics? Your Boston Celtics are at the very end of 4th place, if not 5th. Yo, my Bulls are gonna take over the playoffs. We're gonna beat you guys. It's gonna be easy money. Yo, playoff time is coming. Don't forget, playoff time is coming. But yeah, congratulations to your Celtics. Oh wow, 6th place? Damn, that's actually not bad. But yeah, I'm actually kind of happy that my Bulls are actually doing really good because the Bulls are just on a tear right now. So yeah, that was a very good type of change in the Bulls' franchise history to become a better team. But nah, man, that's good that your Celtics are actually doing good. But yeah, back to boxing. I think Devin has made it clear that this is now ducking season. So who knows? I mean, honestly, all the fighters that we could think of that don't want the smoke with Devin, like guys like Adrian Broner, guys like Robert Easter Jr., guys like Javier Fortuna, Luke Campbell, um, guys like Jojo Diaz that obviously did get forced into fighting him. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of competition that Devin could have had the opportunity of facing, but like you said, they say anything but everything, but let's fight. And I think Devin understands that there's a lot of smoke that that is basically not not willing to like shit. Basically, the amount of fighters that don't want to fight Devin are proving to you how good of a fighter Devin is, and the amount of progression that Devin has built on his career is that he doesn't need to have people tell him that he's good. He just knows that he's going to become that type of fighter to actually show you why he is good. And I think that's what's going to happen in the near future, where Devin's going to hyperscale and he's going to actually show you why he is the best in the world. Oh, really? Daniel Thesis is back. That's actually really interesting. But yeah, good. That's actually really interesting. Hopefully he can stay healthy and he can start developing well. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really have that much else to really say about Devin, man. I really do think Devin's gonna do very good, and I think Devin's going to just prove to you guys that he's nobody to mess around with. See now, my very first couple fights that I like to see him in at 140 is that I want to see him face Montana Love, and then after that, I want to see him face Jose Zapata, and then Gary Antoine Russell when they become champions and they do their thing, and then I want to see Subriel Matias. I want to see Ivan Baranchik if he's still fighting, but I don't think he's gonna fight Ivan Baranchik. I think Baranchik's gonna hang it up. I like to see Jose Ramirez if he's gonna still campaign at 140, and then I say last but not least, definitely Regis Prograis. I like to see Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney. That'll be a really really good fight. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I don't really have that much to really say. I just wanted to get that shit off my chest to tell you guys how I feel about the whole, Devin Haney situation. I think Devin's going to be in a, he's going to be in a less corrupted, better spot at 140 than he was at 135. So it shouldn't be that bad. But at the end of the day, it's boxing politics. So I don't think Devin's going to be in a good spot. Uh, in the future versus where he is now. So I don't know. I mean, there's just too much speculation of what could happen, and I don't want to say that's going to be the case, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. I mean, there's really nothing that we can say that Devin can do better in, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, what else can he really do? I mean, it's just like, everything that he's doing now could could really end up being the same thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have that much to really talk about, so I just wanted to give my quick little thoughts on this, good little live stream, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. I'm not so sure what other topics I can probably bring to the channel, but I'm definitely gonna give you guys more boxing content. I'm probably gonna give you guys, some NBA content too. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys, and thank you. All right, peace out. I'll see you guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.